We've been talking about energy. We've been talking about source. We've been talking about God. We've been talking about emotions. We've been talking about energy. We've been talking about flow. We've been talking about stifling and blocking. We've been talking about flow. But now, we want to talk about cars. We want to talk about houses. We want to talk about lovers. We want to talk about mathematical equations. We want to talk about science. We want to talk about invention. We want to talk about creation. We want to talk about musical projects. We want to talk about books that you are writing. We want to talk about children that you are playing with and that you are raising. We want to talk about relationships that you are forming. We want to talk about the beautiful things in the world that you are attracting to you. We want to talk about the things of this earth that you are focused upon. And we want you to find a way of integrating this vibrational, law-based, universal knowledge, of integrating it into the details of the things that are important to you. We want to talk about your influence in your team winning. We want to talk about your reveling in the choir that the kids at your school are singing. We want to talk about the joyful things that your world is about. We don't want to distract you from the details of this physical life. We don't want to distract you from the food that you are eating or from your bodies that you are molding into the look and feel that you want. We don't want to distract you from anything that is of a physical nature. We just want you to look at the things that you are desiring and that are around you that are of a physical nature through the eyes of vibration, through the eyes of emotion, through the eyes of empowerment, from the eyes of assistance. We want you to allow yourself to integrate the broader perspective of Source into the details of your life. We want to say to you that when you are involved in the details of your life, and this is what you're bringing to this conversation, yes. When you are involved in the details of your life, and you are not conscious in the moment of your alignment, that's where overwhelmment comes from. When you are involved in the details of your life and you are in conscious concert with alignment, that's when your ecstasy comes. That's when your passion comes. That's when your thrill comes. Those are those high points that you keep wanting to bounce to another and to another and to another. In other words, there is no aspect of your life that will not be immediately enhanced by your conscious awareness of these things that we've talked about here today. So yes, you are physical and you are beautiful. And your homes are magnificent and becoming more so. And your inventions are becoming more, and your life is becoming more delicious. And your ability to interact and interface with one another is becoming smoother and more as you want it to be every single day. But if you extract from the equation of the life that you're wanting to live, the vibrational basis of it, then you have no power or control. And when you reinsert it into the conversation, and you are mindful of the way you feel, and you are directing your thoughts energetically, not just subject by subject, but feeling by feeling. Now you've got control of your life experience, and you will shine a light all around you that others will flock to, asking you continually, what is it that you know that I don't know? And your answer will be general. You will say, I've discovered that life is supposed to be fun, and that it can be if I will allow it. I've discovered that all people are good, and the best of them will come to me if I will allow it. I've discovered that there's nothing that is big enough that deserves my attention at pushing against, and that every time I let something be big enough that I push against, I slow myself down, I shoot myself in the foot, I diminish my joy, and I waste my moment in time. And if they ask further, if they say, well, how is it that you know these things? Say to them, it came natural to me. Once I got a glimpse of it, I remembered that I knew it when I was born. It's a dream that I believe that I knew. I think it is the reason that I came forth. I do not believe that I came forth to struggle or to suffer. I believe that I came forth to revel in the living of life. I believe that I've been given the free will to make my choices about life. I believe that I'm backed up by a source so powerful and so loving that I cannot even find the words to describe it. And I believe that the presence of that is with me in every moment that I allow it. And somehow I keep figuring out how to allow it a little now, and how to allow it a little now, and how to allow it a little now. And if they're still listening, and some of them will be, they may say, and how is it that you've discovered? What is it that you do? How do you allow this thing that feels so good to you? How do you allow it when your children are fighting or when someone is suffering? How do you allow it then? And you say, I can't allow it then. My attention to that deprives me of my ability to allow it. So I had to learn how to focus. And I practiced by looking at the best of life until I practiced the vibration of that. And then their logic will bring them to this. They will say, well, how is it that you dare to turn your eyes away from those who need you most? And then you give them the answer that they all are looking for, but that few are ready to hear right here and now in the midst of their trouble. You say, I turn the other cheek, because in turning it away from what troubles me, in turning it away from the problem, I turn it toward the solution. I've tuned myself to the solutions of life. I've tuned myself to the frequency that provides me with the solutions. So while I welcome problems because solutions are so fun to find, I stopped wallowing in the problem. We have enjoyed this interaction more than these words can explain to you. But we've been zapping you with the sonar of a dolphin all day today. It is our knowing that you have moved to a different vibrational place than you have been before. We want to say to you that we make too much of all of this, that if you would just find a reason to be playful and play, we encourage you, get together with your funnest of friends and spend time with them. We encourage you, go to your favorite places and focus upon them. We encourage you, get out the music that sounds the best to you and play it frequently. We encourage you, do those things that feel the best. Let those be the priority that are on your to-do today list. Put the things that don't feel good on someone else's list. Put the things that don't feel good on the list that says, maybe someday, but not today. Put them on the list that says, maybe someone else is ready to do this, but I've moved beyond it. I am a seeker of joy. Today, no matter where I go, no matter what I'm doing, and no matter who I'm doing it with, it is my dominant intent to look for what I'm wanting to find, to look for those things that feel the best. Our appreciation for you could not be greater, and our anticipation of that which is to come is very specifically focused for each of you who have participated here today. Feel for us, because we're right there reveling in your discovery of the well-being that you are so deserving of and temporarily depriving of. We have enjoyed this interaction a lot. It has been a leading edge conversation where a lot of you have come into a new place of understanding. You feel like you've got something that you can go home with and apply. So if we were standing in your physical shoes, the things that we would have gotten that we feel that we could go home and apply are these. I can control the way I feel regardless of what's going on, and I seek to do that because the way I feel is everything. My emotions let me know my relationship with everything that I want. And when I control my emotion, I control my relationship with everything that I want. There is no other factor that exists anywhere in my time-space reality or elsewhere that affects the way things come to me or don't. I am singularly responsible and singularly in control of everything that happens in my experience. I have the ability to look at what is in a way that doesn't please me, or I have the ability to look at what is in a way that does please me. Whether I'm focused, past, present, or future, I'm doing it all right now. And my relationship with the opinion of my source on those same subjects is active within me right now and giving me feedback. When I feel exhilaration, I am in complete harmony with the opinion of my source. And the opinion of my source is what? What is the opinion of my source? What is it that source is really reaching for with me? What does source most want relative to me? Source wants me to be the recipient of everything that I've been asking for. And source is so determined that I will have that success that source never strays from an understanding or from a focus upon exactly what I am wanting. So much so that my emotion lets me know when someone has strayed. And every single time it's me. And I know what to do about it now. Go general. The more specific I get, the more I stray. The more general I get, the more I come back into alignment. So I'm going to come into alignment and then I'll stray a little. And then I'll come into alignment and I'll stray a little. Until I have tuned my frequency to the frequency of source, to the opinion of source, to the knowing of source, to the expectation of source on everything that is important to me. And when I achieve a chronic, consistent expectation that matches the expectation that source holds for me on the subjects that matter to me, now the grid fills in, the grid fills in, the grid fills in, the grid fills in, and people who are watching me are watching in amazement. Who are you? They say. How is it that you barely express your desire for something and someone walks up with you to a very clear-cut path for the receiving of it? And you say, I am the keeper of my promise to the source within me. I said, I'll go forth and sift and sort, and I will carve out lanes of expansion for all of us. And the source within me said, and I will follow the track of your desire, and I will hold to the frequency of that, and I will send a signal that is so bright about that you can't miss it. Because you will always feel emotion around something that matters to you. The guidance will always be there. Strong emotion indicates it really matters. Strong negative emotion means I'm off the track. Strong positive emotion means I'm on the track. We think your guidance system is perfect, and we think you have been playing it out in a perfect way. We think that the world that is before you is a very bright world. We think the world that is here right now is just exactly right. We think that you are the creator of your own experience, and we think that right now, this very moment, you know that in a more vivid way than you've ever known it before. The second thing that we think that you have gathered from this is that, at least it's what we would have wanted to take away from it if we were standing in your physical shoes. Contrast, every bit of it is a good thing. And when I stand in a place that didn't turn out the way I thought it was going to, or even I thought maybe it should have, that rather than beating up on myself about the incompletion of this desire, instead, I'm going to take this contrast as the exact thing that it is, more information for meaningful expansion, because it means there's something in my vortex that this new contrast is going to help me to sort out. You're the creator of your experience. You are not a regurgitator. You're not a puppet on a string. You are the creator of your experience. Do you get that? And don't you want the information with which to create? And don't you like the support that we all provide once you've carved it out? Don't you really like it that there's someone that says, well, you've forgotten, but you really, really want this. And you've forgotten this, but you really, really want this too. And you might have forgotten about that, but in the third grade, you decided that you really, really wanted that. And you really, really want this, and you want this, and you want this, and you want this, and it's all here. And it all is in harmony with itself. In other words, there's nothing that's in your vortex that's out of character or out of vibrational alignment with everything else. We've enjoyed this interaction immensely. There is great love here for you. And it is our continuing promise to you that we will stand fully informed and fully aware in your vortex, understanding where you are in direct relationship with every single thing that you want, speaking loudly with everything that we have, but it's a vibrational voice that you have to feel for. And we are confident that you have the tools with which to do that. There is great love here for you, and we remain effortlessly in the vortex. So good. So good.